Bird of Prey 5. Hail Karuga.
Kapla!
Kapla.
I'm going to take this opportunity, however, to suggest that we all hail Karuga. That's all I'm saying.
Forgive me, Doctor. I'm receiving a number of distress calls. I don't doubt it.
Y'all remember to tip your waitresses. Have a mighty fine night.
If you come in peace, surrender or be destroyed. If you're here to make war, we surrender.
Both good. The important thing is I'm meeting new people.
When the appointed hour arrives, the Marauders will deactivate their cloaking devices and begin transporting Klingon shock troops directly to the landing zone.
Landing zone? Where? Tell me.
Why not? Your feeble weapons will be useless against us. We will kill all your males and take your females to mate with.
All right. Now the Federation's taking over, whether you like it or not. You people, you've been running this planet like a piecework factory. From now on, it's going to be under one roof. You're going to run it like a business. And that means you're going to make a profit.
Look at these 3 words written larger than the rest, with a special pride never written before or since. Tall words, proudly saying, "We the people."
Hi, I'm Nicole DeBoer. I played Lieutenant Ezri Dax on DS9, and I welcome you to Bird o' Prey 5 channel. Hail Karoga.
Hello world, it's Bird o' Prey 5. Kapla. Welcome to Bed Life for Friday, Good Friday, April 7th, 2023. Not Ryan Johnson was first in the chat. Hello and Kapla. Hail Karoga. Hail Karoga. And Not Ryan Johnson says, I thought it was only a Good Friday if the God Emperor of Karoga deemed it to be a Good Friday. Well, then I am deeming today to be a Good Friday. John Araki yells, Krapla, John. And he says, hashtag Kronos was right. Hashtag leave bird garbage. Kronos says, hashtag ban Kronos. Ban Kronos is a jerk. I don't know who Kronos is a jerk is, Kronos. And Kronos says, Kapla, Kronos. And John Araki with $1 super chat, even before we began. Thank you so much, John Araki. We're getting some Dominion ships attacking Deep Space Nine. John DeMarco says, open the evacuation hatch in the mines. Yeah, the evacuation hatch, as recently seen in Star Trek Picard Season 3. If your Federation starship has an evacuation hatch on the bridge, that's a pretty bad sign. However, a eagle-eyed viewer did point out that in fact we did see an evacuation hatch on the bridge way back in TNG episode 2, The Naked Now, the Hasevsky or whatever the name of the ship. It was not a Pegasus style, the war canoe, the whatever type of ship the Pegasus was. My mind is blanking at the moment because I'm particularly tired at the moment. You know what I'm talking about. the science vessel, the Grissom, whatever it was. Oh, it's right at the tip of my tongue. It's right at the tip of my tongue. Oberth. Thank you, John DeMarco. Yes, an Oberth class starship had they had an evacuation hatch on the bridge blow out way back in TNG season 1, episode 2. They had a transmission open with the Enterprise. Then you hear a pop, and Picard's like, what was that? And Data's like, that's impossible. He's like, I think we just heard an evacuation hatch open. And sure enough, when they got to the ship, they couldn't get on the bridge because it wasn't pressurized. But they had a video feed of the bridge, and we did get to see an open, a blown hatch. Now, the difference being that this was a one-time emergency blowing that, couldn't be undone. Whereas in Star Trek Picard, it was completely reversible. You could open it and then close it. Whereas in The Next Generation, it was an emergency that once you blew it open, there was no closing it again. So I don't know which is worse. Both are bad. Both are bad. Chrono says, hey to lurkers, oh pray. Kapla again. John Araki says, news alert. Manhattan's DA office leaks that the Emperor of Kuroga faces indictment over 40 counts of nitpicking Star Trek Picard and 37 misdemeanor counts of cheating at Jet Nerdy. Those sound like they're very made up charges.
Yeah, but they're probably real.
Kronos says, aren't the Kurogan mines run by the A-Orphan miners these days? I don't believe so. And John Araki with another $1 super chat. Thank you with a little bit of Andorian Ale from Commander Shran. Kronos says, hey to John number 2. Josh shoots his poor bird misses out on a rocket launch last night. Did I miss rocket launch? Probably, because I wasn't going to stay up to watch. Not last night, and not tonight either, because I am exhausted. John DeMarco says, hey to Kronos, who says, hey to Josh. Kronos says, was it successful? Obviously, the rocket launch would have been, otherwise it'd be all over the news. Josh reads his Kronos, John Araki is Johnny 5, and John DeMarco is what did Matthew always call him? Kronos says, what happened to Matthew, by the way? That's a good question. And LDG at hashtag #FreeTheNet gifted a membership. Thank you so much, LDG. And Gorilla's Random Thoughts. Congratulations, Gorilla's Random Thoughts. You are the lucky recipient of LDG's gifted membership. Josh reaches Kronos. Yes, it was, but I didn't want to stay up until 2 a.m. when they started putting the payload in orbit. Geez, that is a rough time to be shooting up a rocket. Josh reads says, Kronos, Matthew says he's being worked to get death by his overlords. Kronos says, at least he's still alive. He says, wait, Matthew is of the mines of Kuroga. No. And thank you again, LDG, for bringing Gorilla into the in again as a channel member. Josh says, I wonder if Bert is going to watch SpaceX's Starship's first launch on the 20th. If it goes up, I probably will. What happened to Kerbal? Asked Kronos. I'm really not particularly interested in Kerbal these days. Josh Street says, Kronos, you'll have to ask Bird if he is one of the poor bastards having to oversee the Karogan orphan miners. No, I don't have to watch them. Miss Londell's groovy movie, says Kapla. Kapla, Mr. Londell. Josh asked whether he means Kerbal Space Program 1 or Kerbal Space Program 2. Neither Kerbal am I interested in at this moment. Kronos asked Mr. Londell, what do you go by on Rumble? Kronos says, wait, there's two of them. Well, there's two Kerbals. Kronos says, I would like to see Bird crash something again. Well, I would like to see it crash something again too, but I don't know what that will be. And Josh Street says, Kronos, Kerbal Space Program 2 was released last month. And Kronos says, did someone notify Bird as to the new game? Yes, I'm aware of Kerbal Space Program 2. Not Ryan Johnson says, did anyone wake up Bird O'Prey? Yet he already late, but he shouldn't be that late. I was not late. I'd already started by the time this message came by. Gorilla's Random Thoughts says, Kapla got a lurk to do a $50,000 F up. Oh my God, sorry to hear that. And Kronos puts in zzz, oh pray, as if I had the option to sleep. And LDG gifts another friend of Karoga membership. And John Araki gets the second gifted membership by LDG today. Thank you again so much, LDG. Yes, Mamo Frey.
Yeah, I didn't say anything last week,
Mhm.
but I heard that LDG won the lottery, and I packed my bag and I was ready to go on the cruise
Mm.
with his mother.
Mm.
And I didn't hear anything. Now he's giving away, what do you call them?
Memberships.
Memberships. That proves he won the lottery. When do I leave on my cruise?
A good question, Mamo Frey.
Well, let me know.
So LDG promised to send Mamo Frey on a cruise when he won the lottery. It appears he might have won the lottery, and Mamo Frey is looking for the cruise ticket. Instead, he's being very generous by buying people memberships to the channel.
Well, that's
I don't think I can, I'm going to recuse myself from this.
It's okay. He giving memberships to your channel, that's as good as it.
The Traveler with a $2 super chat says, happy Good Friday, everyone. Kapla, Traveler. Josh reads Kronos. I'd wait a few months to get Kerbal Space Program 2, since the bugs are too much. Can't build a rocket with more than 50 parts before the Kraken shows its head. Yvette says, good evening, Bird and everyone. Good evening to the lovely Yvette. And Kronos likes the Krakens and says, hey, it's Yvette again. Might be the only person who likes the Krakens. Kronos. 47 York Town says, hello, young sir. Hello, 47. Yvette says, bonjour to 47. Kronos says, bird dancing with a lady of the night is so cool. No, she wasn't a lady of the night. She was just a standard model hired by a business to dance in a cage. It happens all the time. Okay.
Who's been holding up the damn elevator?
Especially in Los Angeles. And Yvette with a £2 sterling super chat says, fingers crossed for kissing Dax for you all. Thank you so much, Yvette. Thank you so much. Okay, in the United States, it's quite common for commercial businesses to hire models to dance in cages for their employees. And, you know, yeah, the cage isn't as a symbol like of oppression. It's not like we own the women. It's really more for the women to keep them safe. Because if they're locked in a cage, then obviously we can't get to them. And by we, meaning the men of the office, because obviously you can't trust men to keep their hands to themselves. You know, all the centuries and centuries of selective breeding and whatnot. Men cannot be trusted in such ways. I'll be the first to admit. So the cage is really to protect the women from our wandering hands. So it's just the way it's meant to be. Moxley is in the house. Kapla Moxley. Not Ryan Johnson says Bird needs a retrofit bird of prey that will allow him to eject humans into space from the bridge. Well, you see, the bird of prey emergency hatch in my head canon only activates when they're in water. You can't blow that on the bridge. You can't blow that in space. It only activates when the cockpit or the ship is submersed in water. Josh Reed says, Kronos, that was a young Pelosi he was dancing with. Bullshit. Bullshit. Kronos says, how old is Bird? Not as old as Nancy Pelosi. Not close. John DeMarcus says, greetings to everyone. Moxley fans says, Bird, Kapla Bird. Hope you and the family are doing well today. Well, Moxley, we've had better days, but we've had worse days. So I'll take today. I'll take today. Not Ryan Johnson says, to quantum or not to quantum? That is the question. Or more specifically, to quantum and not to quantum at the exact same time? That's the question. Hakeem says, hey to Kronos. Hey, Hakeem. And Kronos says, hello, world. Moxley says, hello to Yvette. Shazri says, Kronos, Bird is just a few years younger than Salty. Oh, those are a mighty big few years. Yvette says, slugs melt when they come in contact with salt. I don't think it's melting that happens. Words and pictures of Kapla Roberto Pray 5. It's a good Friday to be here with you. Good to hear. Good to hear indeed, words and pictures. Hakeem says, good evening, Bird in chat. Good evening, Hakeem. Chrono says, Yvette is smart. He says, hey to Word. John Araki says hashtag trust no one. Trono says, what day is today? Why, it's Good Friday, young sir. John Araki, hashtag good sex, bad pizza. Yeah, Riker finds out in this latest episode of Star Trek Picard that a changeling pretending to be Riker was sent back to his house, and Deanna knew it was a changeling pretending to be him, but she fucked him anyway. And then she said they, meaning more than one. More than one. How many changelings did Deanna have sex with? And in my head canon, I suspect that one of the changelings took the form of Worf. And like they knew, like, hey, her and Worf had a thing going on. So it's like, oh, maybe we can take the form of Worf and she'll just sleep with us. And then in my head canon, Deanna tells Worf a little later in the scene, she's like, Worf, the changelings also sent a copy of you, and we had sex as well. And then, again, in my head canon, Worf says, no, Deanna, that was me. I thought you might have needed help. And then they just go on, they laugh about it, and they say, yeah, let's never tell. We'll never tell Will about that. Kronos' John number 2 is getting X fleshes. I don't know. The Random Menace is not so good Friday for Jesus. However, long weekends are fine. Greetings from the future. Greetings, Joseph. Kronos says, hey to Time Dude, who says, hey back to Kronos. John DeMarco reminded me of the mighty Oberth class starship USS Grissom. Kronos says, the Random Menace, can you throw pebbles at Yvette? Dan Ben says, hi. Kronos is the tip counts. Welcome, Dan Ben. Words and Pictures says, hey to Kronos and Yvette. Says, the Starship Canoe, says Kronos, just the war canoe. The Random Menace says, USS Tchaikovsky, named after the inventor of the rocket equation. Yvette says, F you, slug. Joseph is a friend and scared of me. Not Ryan Johnson says, of course, an Oberth would be able to eject someone off from the bridge. It was designed, a well-designed ship, that is. Dan Ben says, TNG, the Naked Now. Data, I believe the last sound we heard was an emergency hatch being blown. Picard, are you certain? Yes, of course you are. Kronos says, hey to Dan. Oh my God. And then Tasha Yar, she's like, do you know how old I was when I was left on my own? Do you know how old I was when I was abandoned on my own? She's like, go ahead, guess. And they're like, nobody wants to guess. And then she's like, 5 years old. I was 5 years old when I was left all alone. And then she immediately goes, she's like, at 5 years old, I learned how to escape the rape gangs. Oh my God. I mean, like, it was dark enough to think she was growing up as a teenager, escaping rape gangs. But then that she was 5 years old. She was 5 years old and escaping the gangs. Oh my God. Oh my God. And you like, she obviously didn't escape everyone, right? I mean, I doubt that. She probably just escaped most of them. It's a very dark time on her world. Kronos says the jokes just write themselves. Kronos says an emergency bloweth. Joshua says, with all the Oberths being destroyed in TNG, I wonder if the Oberth was a Karogan-built ship. Karoga had no part in the building of the Oberth. John Araki says, why didn't they separate the saucer section and go to warp? Good question. The Random Menace says, Kronos Yvette is 1 hour in the past, so I can travel there only naked. So only 2 pebbles will crush that threshold. LDG says, me too. Yvette is lolling at Yosef. Kronos says, you can throw pebbles around naked. And Kronos says hello to LDG again. Dan Van says, in Deep Space Nine, battle lines runabout had an emergency hatch. Random Menace says, Yvette, no danger from me. I come in peace and a big smile. Kronos says, hey to Gorilla. LDG says, nice. Dan Ben says, in Star Trek 4 at the end, when they're getting out of the bird of prey using the emergency hatch. Yes, there's an emergency hatch in that bird of prey too. Again, in my head canon, the hatch only works in the presence of water. Kronos says, the Random Menace, you should have said, I come with my peace. And then he respells peace. And Kronos says, hey to Mamo Prey. And he says, bird is shooting up. I am not. JP says, I shot off my rocket at 4 a.m. Congrats. Kronos says, hey to JP's. Dan Van says, we don't know if the Titan can separate. There's been lots of behind the scenes ship pictures posted on social media. I don't think it can separate. 54.5 Access Radio says, am I the only one who remembers Dr. Pulowski? Apparently. I honestly thought she had died. I thought the actress who played her had already died, and I didn't think it was possible she could come back. But now that I find out she's alive, I don't know. I don't know. I did like that we got at least a little bit of Denise Crosby in the episode, because Data had her, you know, the gift she gave him after they slept together. Because that's what she really needed. In the Naked Now, the Naked Now is literally the second episode of TNG. Okay, you have TNG. It opens with Encounter at Farpoint, which is a 2-hour episode. So fine, you want to call Encounter at Farpoint 2 episodes? Well, then the very next episode after the opening episode is The Naked Now. And then the third episode after that is Code of Honor. Code of Honor. At least according to Netflix. The Netflix release schedule is the first episode, 2 parts. Then the naked now, and then Code of Honor. That's a very tough first 3 episodes or 4 hours of television to get through. Kronos says, hey to Axis. Dan Van says, today in England was Good Friday, bank holiday, kind of like Sunday, with less transportation, shops, and things. JP says, hey to Kronos. The Random Menace says Kronos. Lol. Kronos says, wow, Bird doesn't even wrench his slaves. The Traveler says, Bird. Greetings, Bird, salty turds, and nerds. Greetings, Traveler. Mr. Londell's Groovy Movies says he's got the same name on Rumble. That's Mr. Londell's Groovy Movies. LDG says, let's see if the AI is listening. YouTube, give this next membership to 54.5 Access Radio. And John Araki. John Araki got this. LDG is saying lolling and says nice. Kronos says, Bird, does Mamo Pray have a tail? Oh, pray. What'd you say, Mamo Pray?
No.
She's saying no, sorry. Not. I said sorry. Sorry, not at this time, Kronos. Josh Street says LDG one at a time. The Traveler says, Bird, don't worry. I will blow up rockets for you on Kerbal and plant Perogan flags on the Bird of Prey moon. Thank you, Traveler. And the Traveler with a $2 super chat says the Naked Now is the best episode of Star Trek. Are you sure about that, Traveler? Kronos is John, number 1, 2, question mark, won the lottery.
Just fix that damn thing.
John Araki thanks LDG. Kronos lols. LDG lols. Dan Ben says there's a button at the top of the chat allowed me to turn on the ability to be gifted memberships on this channel. Congratulations that you found that option. Some people might not have it. And I'm getting a call from my doctor. I'll be right back.
I've been playing daughter roles for so long that people forget I'm grown up with kids of my own. I'm certainly grown up enough to know that soap can dry out your face, so I wash with Noxzema skin cream every day. Noxzema makes my face feel really clean. It doesn't dry, puts moisture in, makes my skin feel soft, younger looking. I've been washing with Noxzema for a long time now, and, well, so far so good.
Good skin starts with Noxzema every day. Greaseless, medicated Noxzema skin cream.
You got a date, skin's looking great, cause Clearasil's ace. Face to face, face to face to face. See you at 8, skin's looking great, CJ's the place. Face to face.
Clearasil gives you great-looking skin, even close up. Inside, it kills bacteria to dry the pimple.
Clearasil's ace, face to face.
Outside, it soaks up all the excess oil.
Feeling first great, cause skin's looking great, cause Clearasil's ace.
Clearasil, for skin that looks great, even close up.
Face to face.
What's in this little blue egg that keeps Barbara Eden looking slim and trim?
Oh, there's only one answer to that. It's Legs Control Top Pantyhose. See? Legs slims and trims but doesn't bind. So you get comfort and control.
Stretching, bending, standing, sitting. There's one pantyhose that's always spinning. Nothing beats a great
feasting your eyes on the 6-meal cake. Streusel Swirl from Pillsbury. Meal number 1, a fancy feast for your company. Number 2, a yummy dessert for your kids. 3, a breakfast cake to make you forget coffee cake. 4, a lunchbox cake that doesn't all stick to the wrapping. 5, the best break a coffee break ever had. 6, dessert the second night, still firm and fresh. Streusel Swirl, the sensational 6-meal cake.
Your cat is your friend, and he depends on you to take good care of him. Purina Cat Chow. Purina Cat Chow. You can depend on Purina Cat Chow. Purina Cat Chow. Chow, chow, chow.
He depends on me for loving care, and I depend on Purina Cat Chow to give him great taste and nutrition.
Purina Cat Chow. You can depend on Purina Cat Chow. Purina Cat Chow. Chow, chow, chow. Get a little closer. Now don't be shy. You can get a little closer with Arid Extra Dry.
Only Arid has a patent on this formula that fights wetness. No leading deodorant spray stops odor better. And now Arid has a new baby fresh scent. It smells,
Get a little closer with the baby fresh scent of Arid Extra Dry.
Arid fights wetness and odor, now in a new baby fresh scent.
Tap Cola for a beautiful drink. Tap Cola for beautiful people. Tap Cola. You're beautiful to me. Real cola tastes just 1 calorie. Tap Cola. What a beautiful drink. Tap Cola for beautiful people. Tap Cola. It's beautiful to be so good and sugar-free. Tap.
One of the nice things about McDonald's Chicken McNuggets, those hot, tasty pieces of boneless chicken, is that they're packaged in sizes for every appetite. Let me illustrate. Enter the 6-pack. A logical lunch. McNuggets 9, a delight for dinner. And a pack of 20, hey, perfect for picnics and parties. Of course, these are mere suggestions. Your appetite will be the true guide.
It's a good time for a great taste of McDonald's.
Read about tennis tots, political posters, and the miniseries Shogun, all in the new issue of TV Guide magazine.
Ronald McDonald in Dreamy Breakfast.
This morning it seems Ronald's having a dream.
Time for breakfast, Bertie.
Oh, boy, hotcakes.
Hoppin' McHotcakes. After 'em, Bertie.
You betcha.
Whoop. Whoops. Gotcha.
Not you. Ronald,
Time for breakfast with a friend.
Wow. Yummy hotcake syrup and butter.
plus juice and milk.
Breakfast.
A dream come true.
McDonald's and you.
I'm Maud Adams. For natural flavor, I like Cott. A lot. Because Cott beverages are made with real honest-to-goodness fruit. Like sweet, juicy oranges, tart lemons and limes, luscious strawberries and raspberries, and succulent grapes. 30 delicious flavors, including diet flavors, non-carbonated flavors, and the best fruit beer you've ever tasted. All natural, all great. Enjoy the good taste of Cott.
Natural tastes better, so it's got to be good.
This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
It's yours?
No,
Your mother said she found it in your closet.
I don't know. One of the guys must have...
Must have what?
Look, Dad, it's
Where
not
did you get it?
Dad,
Answer me. Who taught you how to do this stuff?
You, all right? I learned it by watching you.
Parents who use drugs have children who use drugs.
Kodak introduces the extraordinary Kodamatic trim print instant color film. Unlike the ordinary instant print, the extraordinary trim print lets you lift off the image to capture the color just the way you like it. And now look how slim I am. I slip easily into places the ordinary bulky instant doesn't fit. So you can keep me in style here in your album with your regular pictures. You can trim me. Watch it. And I'm so thin you can put me where you couldn't put an ordinary instant picture. You can show me off. You can do all kinds of things with me that you can't do with an ordinary instant picture. Here I am, With the new Kodamatic trim print instant color film,
Anyone can do extraordinary things. But he didn't tell you trim print is only for Kodamatic instant cameras.
you didn't tell him it was only from Kodak.
What?
You didn't tell him it was only from Kodak.
Extraordinary.
Thank you. Trim print, the extraordinary new instant color film from Kodak.
Hello, I'm Charlie McKee for Electrolux. And this is an America that used to be. A time when companies brought vacuum cleaners to your home because that's the best place to judge a vacuum. Today, few companies do that. But Electrolux still does, because your home is still the best place to see why Electrolux is better. So open your door to Electrolux. Electrolux, your home is the best place to see why we're better.
This week, Sears teams up velour and corduroy for a sporty look at a winning price. First, corduroy pants, a super value at only $8.99. The Fit Super, too, and you save $5. Snuggle into a rich velour top for just $12.99. The luxury of velour in a soft knit blend, and you save $5. The pants in assorted colors, the tops in crew V and boat neck. Hurry, this sale ends Saturday at Sears, where America shops for value.
When that sun breaks out, lift up your head and shout, it's gonna be a great day.
Kellogg's waits for you, that spirit comes shining through, promising you a great day. How could you think of starting this bright new morning without your K-double-L? Oh, it's double good with Kellogg's, you'll have a great day.
Kellogg's has been making great days for more people for more years with more cereals than anyone. Corn Flakes, Rice Krispies, Frosted Flakes, Product 19. Trust your mornings to Kellogg's.
Very best part of starting your bright new morning is Kellogg's way. It's not far away. Kellogg's will help you say there's gonna be a great, we're gonna see a place. It's gonna be a great day.
Get that do it up feeling, do it up.
Two great names in jeans do it up in style. With an exciting fall collection of denim and corduroy jeans in a rainbow of colors, Gloria Vanderbilt by Mershani and The Gap bring you the fit that stops traffic wherever you go.
Fall into the Gap.
Have a Gloria Vanderbilt fit at The Gap.
Ohio, buddy. Wow, scrambled egg muffin, hash potato, hot cake. Wow! あれ、大変だ。ここかな、こっちか。よし、ここだ。あれ？もう。美味しい笑顔、マクドナルド。みんなも。
And we're back. Sorry about that, doctors. Doctors come first on the Bird of Prey 5 channel. Luckily, blood test results were all good. Things were doing fairly well. No idea why I'm having trouble sleeping. That's a different doctor. The Traveler says, Bird of Prey, don't worry. I will blow up rockets for you on Kerbal 2. Oh, we already read that. And plant flags on the moon. I appreciate that, Traveler. I really do. So Dan Ben says there's a button at the top that allowed him to turn on the ability to be gifted memberships for this channel. Yes, if you have not yet turned on the option, the button to allow yourself to be gifted memberships for the channel, please do. And if you don't see that button, you might be accessing this via a brand account And if you are accessing via a brand account, YouTube says just hang in there. One day they'll figure out how to get you that option. You'll have to just get your memberships the old-fashioned way. In the meantime, that is purchasing them yourself. Dan Ben says there's no other way to do it unless that button appears. That is correct. LDG says, look at the time. Felt like I just got here. That was quite a while ago. Unfortunately. I guess I better skip to reading the at Berto Prey 5s. And LDG says he's got to go. Oh, sorry about that. And he lolls, he does wish he won the lottery. Dr. Alex says, Kapla, Berto Prey. Happy Easter, Kapla, Dr. Alex, to you. And I think we're still a couple days from Easter. But yes, Easter weekend for sure. John Aragi says, if I win the lottery, I'll hire Bird, a trans or drag spokesperson, to advertise for him. No, thank you. Kronos says, quantum smirty peeps are rich. The Traveler says, Vertebrae, it's the same thing with me on Kerbal. My rockets crash before I can ever take off. And Kronos says, no kissing Dax. Well, you got kissing Dax now, Kronos. Dan Ben says, I thought episode 8 of Star Trek Picard season 3 was good. Well, Dan, it's you are entitled to your opinion. Potato Revan, Kapla Potato Revan says, and this D-scener's name just so happens to be called Bob Lowell, and Bob had a large ... but Bird don't mind because Bob had kind eyes and liked Star Trek. What? I think you got a potato stuck somewhere. Potato Revan. Kronos says, can Dr. Alex throw a pebble at Yvette? Joshua says, no kissing Dax. I'm starting to think Bird turned off kissing Dax. I have not turned off kissing Dax. Kronos says, hey to Revan. Hakeem says, so you rent the women. I'm open to negotiation if you have women for rent. John Araki says, AOC would not approve of women working in cages. Please, AOC has probably danced in a cage herself. Yvette says, Kronos, no telling people to throw pebbles at me. Hakeem says, hey to Potato. Revan. Kronos says, Dr. Alex, just that you are probably closer to throw a pebble at Yvette than Yosef. Dr. Alex says, aha, I see. Kronos doesn't have a map around at the moment. JP says, RZ ye after me, Lucky Charms, Potato. Dr. Alex is not even as old as me. Bird's not even as old as him. John DeMarcos is an escape hatch that can be opened manually while the ship is in atmosphere. It is not the same as opening a view screen and blowing the bridge crew into space. Kronos says age is relative. Kronos says, I'm melting. What a world. Josh says, Bird of Prey to quantum or quantum leap. That is the question. Well, then I would go quantum over quantum leap. Kronos says Friday. The Traveler says, Bird of Prey, who said you are almost as old as Salty? Is he older than even Bird of Prey? Is he older than even Bird of Prey 1? Salty is extremely old. So yes, he's the oldest. He's the oldest person on the internet. Older than Mamo Prey. Ms. Lundell says it's official. Deanna is a space trollop. Cronus says Picard turned into porn. Kind of. JP says, so Troy had a chain of changelings run on her. The Traveler says, we don't need Klingon form. Cronus says, I'm not getting on board that train. JP says, rule number 34, Kronos. John Street says, Bird of Prey, maybe Riker wasn't doing it for your great, 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 great granddaughter, Crash O'Prey Troy. I don't think you understand how families work. 54.5 Access Radio. Troy got split roasted. Oh my God. The Traveler says that's a nasty train. JP says, I don't care as long as I can bring up the rear of that train. Oh my God. Oh my God. Kronos still likes Yar's sister more. That was even more disturbing. John Street says, place your bets. How long before Bird starts to skip to Bird over 5 comments? John Street says a mini Bird rant. Positive Candor says a pirate's favorite TN character is Yar. Good one. Good one. John Araki says, why didn't they evacuate the effing solids out the hatch with the liquids? It's a good question. Dr. Alex says, how far back is Bird in the chat? Pretty far. That was the 424 comment. It's now 450. JP says, I don't know, Kronos. I was talking about the internet rule number 34. Kronos says, it depends, Dr. Alex, on how much of the at chat types. Gorilla's Random Thought says, thanks for the pickles for the membership. The Traveler says, this post was at 4:25 p.m. Let's see how long it takes Bird to get here. So it took 25 minutes. 25 minutes. The Traveler says, did LDG win the lottery? And now leaves us forever. Kronos says, can I duck go it? You can duck go it, Kronos, if you prefer to Google. Sure. Dr. Alex says, okay, got to get back to work. Take care, Dr. Alex. Thanks for hanging out. Gorilla's Random Thoughts says, gotta love when control clutch snaps into the belt, cutting it, and the belt wraps around the drive shaft, where it snaps onto a bolt to the motor, frying it. Yeah, so we'll be worn down for a couple days. Yvette says, hope you're okay, Gorilla. Kronos says, it's all about cats. Dan Van says, yeah, sometimes flat lines are 1 and they are 2. Gorilla says, I'm okay, just the machine we rely on at work is pretty much toast. Positive Candor says, does Spot have any spots? It's a good question. JP says, well, Gorilla is better than having one of them belt tensioners seize up and cut its way to the front of the aluminum block, screwing the whole motor. 54.5 Access Radio says, hello to Kronos. Did not see him earlier. And Kronos says, shouldn't Spot be a doggo's name? The Traveler says, The Naked Now is the best episode of Star Trek for $2. A $2 super chat to say that. Gorilla says, JP's the motor on this machine is completely fried. Kronos' Data got some. Captain Fandom Nerd says hello, hello, Captain. Kronos doesn't like doctors. Gorilla says our big shaker machine to clean parts. Mr. Londell's Groovy Movie says Noxema, the original anti-pimple cream. Chrono says Alex is cool. Dan Ben says the option to be gifted memberships, if that button appears, is not there until it just magically appears. JP's asks, WTF do you do, Gorilla? Dan Ben says, how do you get something in a small egg, just like packaging? Chrono says, cats are jerks. Gorilla says, JP's, I make diesel manifolds. Chrono says, beagles are bikes. Dan Ben says, American cake is wider and the slices are bigger. I would not be surprised. Ms. Lindell says commercials in the 70s and 80s were so much cooler. The Traveler says Karoga really has the best commercials. Chrono says, what year is it? It's 2023, but those commercials came from the 70s and 80s. Jedi Bill says, Kapla, Brother Warrior. Kapla, Jedi Bill. Guys, Jedi Bill was doing a morning blend this morning. Check out Jedi Bill's morning blend. Dan Ben says, point to a pack today. Point to a pack today. Oh, I guess that was for a commercial. And Chrono says, oh, tab is only for beautiful people. Son of a bitch. Gorilla's Random Thoughts is JP's for a better HP and fuel efficiency and for show trucks. I don't even know what the question was. Dan Van doesn't know what tab is. It's like a soda. It's an artificial drink. It's like a really bad tasting version of Coca-Cola or Pepsi. Dan Van says yes, chicken nuggets packages to every appetite, including vegetarian. Dan Ben says, do Americans have just the one TV guide, or are there different ones? It used to be just the one TV guide. Now we don't have that. And now it's all online. Gorilla says, did she say they just like cock beverages? I didn't hear the audio from the commercial. Captain Fandom Nerd, he wants his brain on drugs. Yeah, your brain on drugs was just a way of, it was all a scheme to sell more eggs. The breakfast lobby, they made those commercials knowing they were going to sell more eggs, and goddamn did it work. Did it work? We had thousands of people try to quit taking drugs by eating more eggs. Dan Ben says, does carbonated mean fizzy? Yes. Crown says, this is my brain in Karoga. And I warned people it'd be 2 more minutes. Kronos liked the commercials. The Travelers is all right, everyone. I have to drive to work. I will be lurking. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you, Traveler. Sorry I missed you. I hope you have a good time at work. Travelers, it might take Bert an hour to catch up on the chat. Kronos' Bert is behind. He will cheat and skip a lot of this. Well, that is true. Kronos is ripped to Sears. And Kronos says, what the Deej? What's that Deej is farming? What was Deej farming? Deej farms soy and corn primarily. Dan Ben says difference between Kellogg's is the variety. Kronos says mind the gap. Is that 3 McDonald's commercials? Probably Kronos. And then Kronos yells, kissing the axe with tongue. Sean Carter says, greetings all. Greetings, Sean. S. Callum. S. Callum? S. Callum says, hi, Kapla. S. Callum. Miss Lundell says, so the corpuscles are still, the corpuscles are still red, I take it. Kronos says, vertebrae, good news is good. What's wrong with vertebrae? Asks S. Column. What illness is it? That's a good question. When I find out, I will let you know.
It's been 13 years.
It's been 13 years. We're not quite sure. Is there going to be some Dear Bop? Yes, Kronos. Yes, we'll do Dear Bop. We got to do Wordle and Dear Bop. Positive Canada's Bird of Prey. A pirate's favorite TNG character is Yar. And does Spot have any spots? I'm not aware of any spots on Spot. Kronos says, ladies of the night are snuggle buddies. I don't think so. Daniel's Hot Topics is the Titan couldn't put a dent in the Shrike before, and now they blow it up with ease. That is the power of plot. Makes no sense, and they never explained how they did it. And they never, ever will, Daniel. They never will. Kronos says, hey to Daniel. And Kronos is crap. I still have to finish that episode. You really don't. You really don't. They don't really do anything. Gorilla's Random Thought says there was an escape door next to the view screen on the NX-01 that had a staircase that led down to engineering. Okay, we saw earlier in this season that the bridge to the Titan had a door that was, had a hallway door that was guarded by a security guard. And Jack tried to enter the bridge through that door. And the security guard says, no, we're at red alert. You're not authorized to be on the bridge. Get the F out of here. And Jack Crusher turned sad and walked back to sickbay because they wouldn't let him on. Then later in that episode, Picard used the turbo lift to go directly from sickbay to the bridge. That was the episode 17 seconds. Anyway, I don't want to get angry. Those will be things that'll be in my 5 nitpicks video. Daniel says, I don't know why people want a Star Trek show on the Titan. They want Star Trek Titan. They say it's the future of Star Trek. Why would you want a show set on the Titan that is a weak sauce ship? Well, it's a nice looking ship. Escalum says it was stupid destroying the Strike. Yeah, it would have loads of flight logs, data. Yeah, you don't even know who was on the ship. You don't even know who was left live on the ship. What if Deanna was still on the ship? God knows who could have been on that ship. Escalum says they could have used a decoy Trojan horse and attack compromised starships. Daniel says, I want to show on New Enterprise. I want the Enterprise a new freaking one. Executive producer Saul Leibowitz says, Kapla. Bird of Prey, happy Easter to you. Thank you, Saul. And happy Easter to everyone who celebrates Easter. Happy Passover to anyone who celebrates Passover. Happy Ramadan to anybody who celebrates Ramadan. Happy Deej Day to anyone who celebrates the big pink bunny that comes to your house and steals your eggs. The big pink bunny that steals your eggs in the middle of the night. Chrono says, I'm impressed Bird of Prey isn't cheating on the chat. Well, I'm cheating a bit now. And Daniel says, do you think Vatic is dead? Yes. Yes, I do, Daniel. I know some changelings can survive in space, but I'm pretty sure they want us to believe Vatic is dead. Vatic is not coming back. Dan Benz says the Titan blew up because it had no shields. Kronos will get back to us after he finishes the episode. Kronos wants to hear Bird rant more. Well, then watch from my 5 biggest Nitplex video coming out sometime this weekend. I hope. Captain Phantom Nerd says, Daniel, a Titan series would be better than a Section 31 series. I agree. John DeMarco says, destroying the Shrike makes as much sense as decapitating a Ferengi who you need information from. Absolutely. Kronos says, happy Shamalama Ding Dong Day. Who was that man? Daniel's Hot Topic says, damn you, Data killed lore. The deepest circles of hell is reserved for betrayers and mutineers, and people who killed their brothers. Data will soon dine in hell. Gorilla says, Bird, one good thing Picard gave us was the nickname, the Fat One, for the Galaxy class. Cronus says, Deej will steal my eggs. Good luck. Dan Benz says, there's another rumor that Seven and Rafi actress will be doing an audiobook series. I'm pretty sure that's probably real, but an audiobook series is not canon, so it really doesn't mean much, except I guess they'll get paid to read a book. Dan Benz says the Titan was able to destroy the Shrike because it didn't have shields up. I agree. Why didn't have shields up, I guess, is the bigger question. No. Anyway. I need to load you real quick. So we're going to do this. I'll be right back. So, Spock, what's on the agenda for today? Captain, as you are well aware, I am your first officer, not your secretary. Uhura, where's that coffee I asked for? I am the communications officer, not a waitress. Oh, geez, it's going to be one of those days again, eh? Those days. Yes, Spock, it's an Earth expression. It means I'm going to have a headache the size of Jupiter before noon. Maybe you shouldn't have consumed so much Romulan ale last night. Oh, you're a doctor now, Spock? Fascinating. One of those days indeed. Captain, we're being hailed from planet M114. On screen. Friend? Oh my God, man. What a hideous-looking alien. Ahem, sir. The frequency is open. It's okay, Spock. He must know how ugly he is already. Yes, sadly it's true. Salty knows I am an ugly alien. It's okay. What can we do for you? I want to invite you and your salty crew to a party here on M114. We're going to have cake, appetizers, tapas, dancing, firewalkers, and a lot more. It's going to be the biggest party since the Big Bang. I like the sound of that. Maybe this day won't be so bad after all. Send the coordinates and we'll set course immediately. If I may. Damn it, Spock. This is why we don't get invited to the good parties. Can't you see I'm busy here? Captain, this creature is clearly a salt vampire, similar to the one we killed on M113. What? M113? My wife was on M113. Calm down, please. My science officer was mistaken. We didn't kill anyone on M113, did we, Mr. Spock? Mr. Spock, I asked you a question. Did we kill anyone on M113? Vulcans are known to be truthful. No, we did not kill anyone on M113. Well, why would he say that? Because he's an idiot. Do you know anyone on M112? My niece is on M112. I see. What about M109? No, I don't think so. Well, there you see. We were at M109. Mr. Spock confused it with M113. He's not very good with numbers. Well, he's not invited to my party. But you, Captain, and the rest of your crew, please beam down as soon as you arrive. No phasers, please. What can we bring? I have access to the finest spirits or the sweetest desserts in this sector of the galaxy. You guys don't have to bring anything. Though maybe if your kitchen can spare a few extra salt packets. Sure we can. How many do you need? How many do you got? I'll order 24 salt packets. Does that sound good? Order 24. Are you sure, Captain? Absolutely. Order 24 now, Sulu. Aye, sir. Oh, God! The pain! The pain! Spock, what did you do? I thought you ordered an order 24, sir. This is what I mean by one of those days. Bones, I'm going to need some Tylenol. Stat. Damn it, Jim, I'm a doctor, not a pharmacy. I'm going to order 24 sickbay if you don't get me something for this headache. Too soon, sir. Too soon. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Sorry about that. Hopefully that kept you entertained. So it's Good Friday. Okay. So picture in your heads, if you will, a younger Bird o' Prey 5. I had very recently just purchased my house. I had purchased the house probably 6 months earlier, but I had only been living in the house a very short time. I was transitioning in my life from someone who was barely out of college to someone that despite not feeling like an adult, I was clearly becoming more of an adult. And I had, grown up fairly shy with the women folk. And I had started dating through various websites at the time. And believe me, at the time, they were just websites. There were no apps. Okay, we did not yet have smartphones. The Apple iPhone was still years away. Okay, my phone, which was like, a very rare phone, was a Palm Trio or something that I believed. I don't remember at this time if it used the Windows OS or if it was still the Palm OS or even exactly which phone it was I had, but it was nothing like a smartphone of today. There were no apps. I would go into either at home or in my office. I would log in to Match.com, whatever. You would see pictures, and you would get little blurts about people, and you would try to strike up a conversation. And I don't know, after God knows how long of not finding anyone I was really interested in talking to, them being interested in me, and I was seeing pictures of people who were interested in me, and I was not particularly interested in them. That it just you lower your standards, and you're like, you know what, I got to see what this is all about. What's the worst that could happen? Anyway, it was, I don't know exactly. I don't, all I know is that it was right before Easter. So I guess it was probably, it probably was, well, it was either Thursday, which is Holy Thursday, or Good Friday. I invited them to eat at a restaurant near my house, and we did, and we ended up, I was like, do you want to, come in or whatever? Because my house wasn't far away. And like, I was like, yeah, I was trying to show off, because I was like, not a lot of mid 20-year-olds had their own homes, at least not in New York City. Most of the other people in my age group were either still living with their parents, or living in like a basement apartment of their parents' house, or living in like a very small apartment on their own. Whereas I literally had a house with a yard, a backyard, a front yard, a separate driveway, and all these things. Dad O'Prey had either just moved in or hadn't yet moved in. But Dad O'Prey, when I had the house, kind of redone, it was with the thought that Dad O'Prey was going to move into the basement, and he would have his own like apartment, and that would leave the upstairs, open for me to have people over. But when it turned out that O'Prey, he kind of needed a little extra help, so instead of moving into the basement, he did move in upstairs. But if I needed the house, because I was going to have somebody over, I could call him, and he knew, and he was able to move downstairs for the night. And so I did that at that particular night. And so we had the upstairs to ourselves. I didn't even tell her that my dad slept downstairs, because it was irrelevant. It was my house. Anyway, we come in, and I honestly didn't realize that pretty much any woman that's already made it to Match.com, they don't want to wait any longer. But I didn't know that at the time. But I also had to acknowledge to myself that I wasn't particularly all that interested in this particular woman, that I was just doing this to kind of get used to doing this. anyway, I told her something about how, I wanted to take it slow. And she's like, oh my God. She's like, you telling me you want to take it slow makes me want it even more. And this was the one who I really didn't understand what she wanted until she started sucking on my finger. And then I was like, oh, I get it now. The sucking on my finger is the way to tell me that she's going to suck on something else in about 5 minutes. And it turned out it was even shorter than that. It was like 2 minutes. Anyway, the point being is that what they say about some women is that they're hungry and they want it. And I noticed, okay. Listen, I'm going to be very, very adult, or how else I want to put it. But let's just say, as a guy who, didn't have a girlfriend for a long time, you do some things you'd rather not do, but you got to do it. And you notice, when things happen, you're like, okay, it happened. Certain juices, certain liquids come out. And okay, I mean, it comes out and you clean it up. And I'm like, okay, so it's expected. That's what you expect is going to happen. And so it didn't realize, I had not realized. Now, it wasn't my first time, but it was the first time where the woman was using her hands and everything was visible, because previously it had happened inside her and I didn't know what was happening in there, except that I was done, she was happy, and that was it. But this was new. It was actually kind of backwards, because I guess supposedly as teenagers this happens, but this never happened to me as a teenager. So the girl's using her hands and her other parts, and it's in full view, and what comes out, but I had no idea at the pressure difference there would be when a woman, even if she's not the most attractive woman, but when a woman is touching and doing those things, it comes out 10 times faster than if it was just me alone. And the distance it would travel is tremendous. I mean, if it was just me and there was a cup, a couple inches away, not that I ever had reason to do it, but I would be 100% sure it could catch it. Okay? But in this case, if she was doing it, the cup would have to be like 20 feet away, and you would need like a fucking laser to guide it in. Okay, you would need something much bigger. You couldn't. It's night and day difference. Okay, night and day difference. Anyway, at my house, it wasn't a big deal. It just, right on to her, so she stopped it. But the next day, when I was at her house and we were doing this again, for whatever reason, she wasn't in the same place she was before. And instead, it shot over her front, we were in her living room. I mean, she lived alone. But her family was coming for Easter. And she told me that. I mean, I wasn't going to be there. I was going to be with my family for Easter. But, so this was the night before, I guess. And the point being, we did the thing, and man, did it shoot. It went over her couch. It went over her couch and into the vicinity of her kitchen. And like, after you're done and you're like, and you're, cuddled a bit for a couple minutes. And, then like a guy, typical guy, like, yeah, it's getting late. I got to get going. I got work in the morning or whatever. Whatever I was going to, it was fucking Easter. And I was just, she knew I didn't want to stick around. But she's like, wait, you gotta help me find it. I was like, oh shit, yeah, you're right. Okay. I mean, I didn't want my fucking goo hanging around. I didn't know if this lady was crazy. God knew what she could do with it. I don't want her to fucking find it and stick it up somewhere. So I was like, yeah, okay, of course. So anyway, we are both looking for this stuff. LDG with a $2 super chat says, Bird, what rhymes with girdle? Girdle? Hurdle? Hurdle? Wordle. Oh, God damn it. Damn it, LDG. I'm in the middle of telling a fucking story. Wordle will wait 1 minute. Okay. The point is 15, 20, 25 minutes go by. I am looking all over her fucking kitchen. I am looking in her living room. She is right there with me. She refuses to put her fucking clothes on. Like after like 5 minutes of like watching her body jiggle, I was kind of getting annoyed. I was like, could you at least fucking, I didn't say it, but I kind of wanted to make sure, I wanted her to put some clothes on because like at this point, I just felt like if she found it, I had this fear she was going to start rubbing it into herself. Anyway, I didn't say anything. But after like 20 fucking minutes, neither of us could find it. Neither of us could find it.
67, 66, 65.
To this day, I have no idea what happened to it. I left because what the fuck was I going to do? I couldn't keep watching, and I don't know where it went. I remember seeing it to the best of my ability of predicting the physics. That thing should have hit the middle of her kitchen floor. I have no idea where it actually ended up landing, but she had a cat, but the cat wasn't out. She left the cat in her bedroom while we were there. So the cat wasn't out. So, and then God only knows. I hope it dried up overnight because her family was coming the next day. I don't know. And then we never, I never ended up seeing her again after it. I called her. I saw her, but I saw her in a car outside her house because I said we got to talk, and I had to I brought up the we need to talk, and she knew it was over. So I saw her, but I didn't see her in her house. I saw her outside her house. She thought we were going to dinner one last time. I offered to go to dinner, but she knew. And she's like, no, don't worry about dinner. And anyway, I don't know what happened to it. That was not a good Friday, but it was also, on another hand, a very good Friday. Because once I got over that hump, no pun intended, I got much easier. It got much easier at that point. And from that point on, I was at least a little attracted to the people I dated. Some a lot more than others, but none ever with so little attraction as that first lady. And I apologized to her. I don't know. I had no. That was the first time I realized that I didn't realize there would be a difference. I didn't realize there would be a difference. Anyway. Positive Candor says the tip really counted then. Yes, it did. Miss Lundell says another riveting tale of the amorous adventures of Vertebrae 5. Hakeem says, don't tell me some of it got in her hair. No, I don't think. It didn't get in her hair. Chrome says, this is all a wonderful Easter tale, oh pray. The Traveler says, I don't think we need to know any of this. No, you need to know, Traveler. You need to know. Hakeem says some of those stains are still in her kitchen. Stan Lee's is like the hookers do with the NBA players. They steal the condom. I was worried. I was worried. The Travelers is, dear God, why I don't need to picture this in my mind. Dan Venn says, shoots the farthest. He won gold for America in the Olympics. I honestly think if it was an Olympic event, I might have had a chance. Dan Vance is Vertebrae 5 in American Pie. Cronus is Bird, you should write some soft porn novels. LDG says she found out where it was later when it rained. Why would it rain? Why would it rain in her kitchen? LDG says cloaked sperm. Dan Vance says there's no different to a Sex in the City because he's the same city, lol. I have no idea. The easiest way to find it is with a backlight. Well, it's like a changeling, possibly. Possibly.
Just fix that damn thing.
So crusty. LDG with a $2 donation. She found it when it was later when it rained. Lol hump, says Kronos. I picked the wrong day to stop sniffing glue, says Kronos. The traveler says Bird should have stayed with this lady. Sounds like she does a good job. She does. Hakeem says she knew she was only a starter girlfriend. Yeah. At least it was a happy ending, says Kronos. Daniel says, do you think we will see Satan again in Star Trek? Maybe Satan's behind the big red door. Anyway, let's go ahead and go to Wordle. So, guys or gals, if there's anybody left here, the first 5-letter word I see in chat. The first 5-letter word I see in chat. LDG says face palm because you shot through the roof. Oh, no, I didn't shoot through the roof. Eject. LDG says eject. 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 EJACT. Shit. EJACT. Eject. That is not a word. That is not a word, LDG. That is not a word. Chrono says waddle. Nutted. Nutted, says Hakeem. Nutted. Not a word either. That's nuded. Not a word. Not a word. The traveler says sperm. 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 We just got an S. We just have an S. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Just have an S. And no E. So let's see. AIOUS. No, we have an M. Let's see. Bates. BAITS. Bates. Right? There's no, those are all good except the S. Son of a bitch. 2 words. And all we have is an S at the end. All we have is an S at the end. O, U. A, E, I are all used. So we have an O, U, a Y. Y, O-U, Yule? I don't think that's a word. No. Y-O-U-T-H. Well, it uses the T, a T twice. And, oh, and wait, Utes. Utes. Yeah, I didn't think youths was a word. Utes. T-O-U, Youths? Touts. No, it can't be. There's no T. There's no T, goddammit. C-L, clock, cluck, clucks, 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 clout, clout, clout. Oof, clout. Okay. Okay. C. Oh, and we have the S. So we're good. We got all the letters. We got all the letters. That's okay. So C-L-O. So, okay. O-C-L-U-S. Oculus. No, ocula. No, okay, we know the last two letters are U-S. So we know it's not C-L-O. So L-O-C, locus. Locus? Logos. It's logos. What the fuck? Locus. Logos, it's math. Right? Locus is a math term. I'm not 100% sure, but I know there's like a locus of a circle or something. Locus. That was actually, that was extremely lucky. That was extremely lucky. Define locus.
Bye-bye. See you next time.
A particular position, point, or place. It's impossible to specify the exact locus in the brain of these neural events. Mathematics, a curve or a figure formed by all points satisfying a particular equation of the relation between coordinates or by a point, line, or surface moving according to mathematically defined conditions. A parabola, funny word. A parabola is a locus of a point that moves so as to be equidistant from a fixed point and a straight line. If you say so. Not to be confused with the locusts that are going to consume Bajor. No. Yeah. So got it in 4. Not a good day for Wordle, says Traveler. Dan Van is laughing. Bad choice. Stanley is yelling eject. Eject the tape. Well, he wrote eject. He wrote eject. Captain Fandom Nerd says loads. Chrono says vulva. It's short for ejaculate. Well, didn't work. Stan Lee says plead. Stanley's at least you've eliminated some and no vowels found yet. Chrono says this is not a good day for humanity. This was me reading up on Governor of Poker 3. We'll go to the April holiday screen. The Travelers is this stream is cured from that story. Dan Van says there's an episode of Frasier where Niall is talking about the sperm in the coffee shop and Dad wants him to say S instead. Utes is not a word, says the Traveler. My cousin Vinny would beg to differ. What's a Ute? Says Kronos. The Traveler says, why is Joseph better at guessing English words than Bird? Kronos says, Oculus is 6 letters. Stanley says, yeah, dumb word. Stanley guessed focus. And the Traveler says, sperm is like focus. Locutus, no, not locutus. And hocus, says Stan Lee. Dan Van says, is it locust like a grasshopper? A locust, yes, is like a grasshopper. Stan Lee says, but didn't even think locust was a word. The Traveler says, pocus. Hocus pocus. Kronos says, Bird was cheating. How was I cheating? Kronos says, so I can say to the gal, she has a hot locust. Yeah, you could say that. Screw the geometry, says Kronos. John DeMarco says, good thing Cisco prevented Bajor from becoming a locust for locusts. I see what you did there. Kronos says, can I sell my vowels now? And Dan Van says, sometimes why? Kronos says, yay, beer day. And Kronos says, you skipped a lot of chat. If they had doorbell.
I got it.
You got it?
I got it.
Okay.
There's a kid outside about 18 claiming you're his father.
Not me. You were clearly on the phone and busy. I don't think you heard any of that.
He said no, his mother pointed out the house. With that, I'm going for a cigarette.
Okay. So it's Good Friday. It's National Beer Day. It's World Health Day. It's the day of remembrance of the victims of the Rwanda genocide. Oh my God. Is that the memorial? Is this the memorial to the genocide? They didn't even spell April right. Did they not have enough P's? Did they not have enough P's? I mean, I don't even see P being used. What the fuck is April? Avril? 17th of Avril, 1994. 11,400 victims. Do genocide. I assume it means of genocide. It is an unfortunate day. And that is an unfortunate memorial. It's International Beaver Day. Show your beavers. It's International Beaver Day. International Snail Paper Day. You can't put snail in front of newspaper and make snail paper. Snail mail works because the mail goes slow. Newspapers don't get to become snail papers. That's a stupid, stupid argument. Hey, oh my God. Listen, I don't mean to be racist, but you can't tell me that for a quick second, you didn't look at this guy and think, holy shit, somebody put young Commander Cisco on a coin before he had the goatee, when he still had his hair. Okay? I thought that this was young Commander Cisco, like from Emissary. Somebody put Emissary Commander Cisco on a coin. It is, in fact, though, Karumi Day. Karumi Day is observed April 7th to commemorate the assassination of Abid Amani Karume, a former president of Zanzibar and the vice president of Tanzania. I guess he's got a mustache. I didn't notice the mustache on the smaller coin. I didn't really, I just thought it was a dirty coin. Oh, it's Make the First Move Day. Make the First Move Day. Wait, what is Make the First Move Day? I thought it was the day women were supposed to make the first move. Making the First Move Day is observed every year on the United States on April 7th. This day arose from the initiative to combat the bullying pandemic. Bullying is still a prevalent issue that many students face today. The purpose of this day is to raise awareness about bullying and its consequences, as well as to honor its victims. An all-inclusive holiday, it honors and remembers the victims and survivors of bullying. What is it called? Why is it called Make the First Move? Bullying can occur in many places such as schools, workplaces, and communal places. I feel very bad for people bullied at school. I kind of laugh at people bullied at work. I'm sorry. The earliest forms of anti-bullying awareness and anti-bullying movements in the U.S. can be traced back to the mid-90s. Back then, several U.S. states began considering anti-bullying legislation, and the issue became increasingly significant and recurrent. Georgia was the first state to pass anti-bullying legislation in 1999. So Georgia is to blame, not California, not New York. From then on, all U.S. states and several countries around the world have passed anti-bullying laws. In addition, many anti-bullying programs have been organized and implemented with the goal of eliminating bullying and creating bully recovery treatments. Bully recovery treatments? These programs are set to counter the consequences of several bullying-related issues. The idea behind Making the First Move Day is that bullying victims are often hesitant to speak about their experiences and seek professional help. As such, accompanying bullying victims is the first and probably most important step in their recovery. As such, anti-bullying programs will experience significant development. Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, well, I don't know about that. It's Metric System Day. Let's celebrate the special anniversary of the world's most recognized standard of measurement. You know what they say? There's countries that use the metric system, and there are countries that have been to the moon with people. Motherhood and Beauty Day. Let's come together to celebrate American mothers on Motherhood and Beauty Day. It's Mozambican National Women's Day, National Coffee Cake Day, National Girl Me Too Day. Me Too. Oh no. Join us as we celebrate and appreciate women and all their achievements. Okay, so not Me Too. Just, it's Girl Me Too, not Me Too. I just feel like you got to point that out. National Nico Day, National No Housework Day. Put down the laundry, toss out the to-do list, and take a break, Mama Pray. I didn't read it this morning. I'm reading it now. It's National Pet Health Insurance Day. Poet in a Cupcake Day. Public Television Day. Walk to Work Day. World Marbles Day. And finally, with no picture, Hospital Admitting Clerks Day. A perfect day to give a little back and thank your hospital admitting clerk. John Iraqi says Slovakian women are my favorite international beavers. Gorilla says, can you really call that genocide? I guess so. He says it's a massacre for sure, but not genocide. Miss Lundell says that looks nothing like Cisco. You need an appointment with an eye doctor. His hair. Dan Van says you can get Tom Paris on commemorative Star Trek Voyager plate. Yeah, but you're not supposed to eat off those plates. Hakeem says hit the bully before they hit you. Corona says I'm a victim of being on this live stream. Dan Van says American cupcakes are probably more frosting than sponge. I don't know. It depends on who's doing the frosting, I guess. Okay. Well. Quite a few dear bops today. So I guess it's time for Dear Bop. Dear Bop, what is the secret to women's happiness? They don't even know. They don't even know. Dear Bop, I think I might have a skin tag. Luckily, it's under my armpit. I think I heard that you have experience with this. What should I do? Can I cut it off? Does it hurt to pull on it? Should I see a doctor? I'm worried and kind of embarrassed. soft putty. God damn it, soft putty. But if you do have a skin tag, it should not hurt. If it does hurt, you should definitely see a doctor. If you want to remove it, you should see a doctor. Now, I know Dad O'Prey, he would probably just say, put a sharp pair of scissors on the stove to get them nice and hot, cool them down, and then just cut it off. But I don't personally agree. I say see a doctor. Have them cut it off. Dear God, I pulled on the skin tag and it tore off. Now it's bleeding. Make it stop. Well, put some Neosporin on a gauze and hold it down real tight for 15 minutes. See if it stops. Dear Bob, what was the worst moment of 2022? I don't even remember. I'll assume the worst moment was the moment Star Trek Discovery started playing. Dear Bob, I still don't praise Star Trek Picard Season 3. I don't see what everyone is saying about how good it is or how it came back. It is just some villain chasing someone and not telling us the full story until the end. And that's just meh. What do you actually like from this season that makes you think it's good or bad at this point? All I can say is that it's better than previous seasons because while it's still crappy, it's not overly woke, right? I mean, Star Trek Discovery and seasons 1 and 2 of Picard had just as bad writing, plus everything was woke. And by woke, I mean they went out of their way to put in more women and more people who were purposely not straight white men. And then they made storylines that always made the women be more right. And when possible, they could kill off or make fun of the straight white men, whereas the women, the non-straight men, and the non-white men would live happily ever after. Usually while kicking the straight white man literally in the nuts at least once or twice a season. So the wokeness is gone in season 3. But the writing is still shit. The writing's still shit. Yes, it's the best of the Picard seasons, but it is still crap compared to Enterprise, Voyager, Deep Space Nine, TNG, or TOS. Bird of Prey, Dear Bob, jump the shark. If I could, I would. If I could, I would get them to set up a shark. I would water ski, and I would live on YouTube. Bird of Prey 5 jumps the shark. Kronos is what's your definition of woke? I think I explained it in there. Kronos. Dear Bob, what is the most annoying phone call you've ever? Well, I mean, the most annoying phone calls I just hang up on. I guess the most annoying ones are ones that I think are fake, but then turn out to be legit. And I've got to, like, oh, sorry, and then answer them for real. Dear Bob, can you hear me? Can you see me? Can you find me in the night? Can you near me? Can you hear me? Can you help me not be frightened? I'm pretty sure that's a song. Dear Bob, memory, all alone in the moonlight, I can dream of the old days. Life was beautiful then. I remember the time I knew what happiness was. Let the memory live again. Question, do you feel that in the old days you were better? Yes, absolutely. As a matter of fact, in the old days, meaning prior to May 2009, I was absolutely better in that I could walk and pretty much do anything I wanted to do. You'll understand that happiness is, look, a new day has begun. Question, do we truly understand what happiness is and how to have it in the new day or continuing on? Oh my God. Daylight, I must wait for the sunrise. I must think of a new life. I must give in when dawn comes. Tonight will be a memory too. Question, do you like living for the next day? Or do you like surprises? What do you think new life makes you go on and continue? I don't like surprise. I like good surprises, but I don't like bad surprises. So if I could cut out surprises altogether, I would. Question, do you like having memories of what it used to be like, or do you wish they were gone because you can't go back? And do you like what you have to look forward to? I love that I have memories of what it used to be, because without those memories, I would be really, really depressed. And no, I don't want to get rid of them. I'd much rather live my memories over again. Do you like what you have to look forward to? Well, I hopefully look forward to recovering to a point where I could, be at least a shadow of my former self. So if I can get a little bit back to where I was, I'd be happy. If I honestly never get further than what I am right now, I can find happiness, but it's not the same. It's not the same. Question, do you understand what happiness is and how to look on forward for the new day? I mean, I can find happiness, but more importantly is I want to make people around me happy. If they're happy, then I'm happy. Chrono says, Bird of Prey, do you like the Phil Collins song, Do You Feel It Coming in the Air Tonight? Chronos, I've never heard of that song, so I have no idea. But my guess is no. Dear Bob, when you have butter on toast, do you prefer to see the butter or do you mind if it's melted away? Not mine. Oh, I want to see the butter. I want to see the butter. Now, if it melted into the toast, I'm okay with it. Like if the toast is like gooey from butter, I'm okay with that. But I'd much rather see the butter. Dear Bob, what was the first movie you saw at a cinema? I don't remember. I don't remember. Mama Pray?
I'm sorry.
Do you have any idea?
No.
No. I'm sure she probably brought me to a movie, I guess. Yeah, you probably brought me to like Disney movies for you, right? Or
Me?
I don't know, like you might have wanted to see some type of Disney movie at some point. You went to Disney you went to Disney World for your
Oh, it's a small world.
you went to see It's a Small World. That's not a movie.
No, I'm saying.
No, but I was saying I know you guys went to Disney World for your anniversary.
Honeymoon.
Your honeymoon.
Yeah. I had never been to Disney, and that's where I wanted to go.
She had never been to Disney. That's where she wanted to go. So Dad O'Trey took her to Disney World for her
Oh, and then we went.
honeymoon.
And then we traveled to South Florida.
And then they traveled to South Florida. Okay, so I have no idea what the first movie I saw
But
in cinema.
the kids came out.
Whatever movies came out for kids, she took us. Yeah. Dear Bob, what is your favorite abbreviation or abbreviated word? My favorite abbreviation? All I can think of is FBI, female body inspector. I know it's a joke, but or o'clock. God, I don't know what o'clock is short for, but I'm really happy I only have to know o'clock and not whatever the hell it means. No, I don't know Phil Collins or Genesis. Kronos is unsubbing. Dear Bob, what car should people be driving these days? As much as I want to say a Jeep, I got to go with Subaru. That's why Sisso Prey got a Subaru. Dear Bob, what's the opinion about helicopters flying all over the city? Generally, I don't really care. I'd prefer if they didn't fly over my house, but I really don't have a helicopter problem. Dear Bob, what is your favorite sub? And then I will go try one and see if it tastes good. I tell you, I like grilled chicken with honey mustard. If you have a Quiznos, I like the chicken carbonara with honey mustard instead of Alfredo sauce. They are in business, not in New York City. They all left New York City. If it's only cold cuts, if it's a cold hero, then I like ham, bologna, American cheese with honey mustard. Dear Bob, I wear glasses and always obsess after they've not been washed that they're still blurry, even though they might not be. How do you really tell if you can see the best? I also wear glasses And every couple days, I ask Mama Pray to wash them because you really need the water to wash it good. I don't have, paper towels are not enough to wash it good. I would say by the time you see, you noticeably see stuff in the way, it's time to wash the glasses. Dear Bob, it's really a shame that the Pizza Hut in my area doesn't hire enough delivery drivers, so Pizza Hut uses flipping DoorDash to deliver their pizzas. So I had to order a pizza from Papa John's because I ain't using flipping DoorDash ever again. Mox. P.S. Easter is Sunday. I miss my dad. I'm sorry to hear that, Mox. It's going to be hard for a while. And you know what? It should be hard for a while. But it will get easier in time. And then you'll be mad at yourself for it getting easier. But understand that's how it's supposed to be. Life requires us to move on. You'll get angry. Don't get angry at yourself. It's the way it was meant to be. Daniel says, Bird of Prey, it was stupid to destroy the Shrike. They could have used it as a decoy. Yeah, it was stupid to destroy the Shrike, Daniel. Hakeem says, when I wash glasses, I go from 480p to 1080p. Absolutely. Dear Bob, Con! Dear Bob, The Simpsons, Martin Prince. Corridor song is a popular name for the area vor toast she jux post. Your toast, I can return it to you. From the opera Carmen. Whatever. I do not recall Martin singing that. Cuddler companions. Dear Bob, do you recommend blue cheese dressing? And what should I have with it? I'm not really a fan of the blue cheese dressing. The Traveler says o'clock means of the clock or according to the clock. And Dan Van says, yes, I agree with you on how to clean glasses. Ask Mama Frey to do it. Yeah, I'm not a blue cheese fan, so I would say don't have anything with it. Dear Bob, do you know how many calories are in edible underwear? Just the woman who wears it? Or can you get it for both men and women? I'm pretty sure they have edible underwear for both men and women, but I'm not 100% sure. Dear Bob, do skin tags grow back if you cut them off? Asking for a friend, rock solid. No, they don't grow back. And we know that that's not rock solid. We got to deliver the motherfucker. Dear Bob, what is a brand YouTube account, and how do we know my YouTube account is a brand account? A brand account is when you make an additional YouTube account different from your main YouTube account. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure how you tell for sure, but I'll give you this. If you go to YouTube, and you click on the circle for your account here, and you have two things, and you have switch account. If you have switch account, then these are brand accounts. These are brand accounts. Although Captain Fandom Nerd, this is actual his account because he made me a backup on his real account. But Birdo Prey 5 is a brand account. Birdo Prey 5X is a brand account. Nerdy Jen is a brand account that I use to be fake. I have to fake people, make them think I'm a girl. Sleep O Prey 5 is a brand account. Wordle in 1 is a brand account. And then my real name, that's actually not a brand account. That is my actual Google account. So if you have something that looks like this, then you've got brand accounts. And it's you go to your switch account. If you don't have switch account and you don't have a whole list of other things, then you probably don't have a brand account. The multi-gun man says Bird. Hey, Bird. I mean, hey, multi-gun man. The multi-gun man, how's it going? It's going okay. It's going okay, multi-gun man. Dan Benz says Bird. I think the Simpsons episode is where Principal Skinner is replaced by Ned Flanders. Okay. I remember it now. The multi-gun man says confirmed Bird is a blue cheese fan. Nice chicky wings, says Kronos. The multi-gun man says if I only subscribe to Kuroga brand accounts, I only subscribe to Kuroga brand accounts on YouTube. And Kronos says, Lowell Bird, you don't sound like a girl. No, I know I don't. And Positive Candace is confirmed. Fertile Prey 5 transitioned with his Gen account. Dear Bob, pick your woman to rent. Newbie page, most beautiful and hottest American women, top 10 most beautiful and hottest women in America. So this is the 10 hottest women in America, huh? The most beautiful American women over 40. Oh, who said over 40? Boo. And there's no way. I don't know who this is, but there is no way this woman is one of the top 10 over 40. Sandra Bullock, Jennifer Aniston, Eva Menz. Who the fuck is Eva Menz? Gabrielle Union, Regina Hall, Jessica Alba, Jennifer Lopez, Charlize Theron, Beyonce, And Kim Kardashian? Yeah, no thanks. No thanks. They're the worst. Dear Bob, which is better, the Munsters or the Addams Family? It's a tough one. Is a tough one. TV shows, Munsters, movies, Addams Family. Dear Bob, which is better, Bewitched or I Dream of Jeannie? I Dream of Jeannie. Dear Bob, which is better, Battlestar Galactica 70s or Buck Rogers in the 25th century? I've never seen either. I have not seen either. That said, I would pick Battlestar Galactica. Dear Bob, how long before going to sleep should you eat something? You should have at least 2 hours after eating before you go to sleep. Dear Bob, how long before going to sleep should you eat something? If you got this message twice, I wasn't sure because the first one said it did. It did. Dear Bob, when is Avril? I think it's now. Dear Bob, do you think one day the world will be paperless and coinless money society? Yeah, I do. Dear Bob, California, here we come, right back where we started from. Yes, I'm familiar with the lyrics. Dear Bob, me too. And dear Bob, maybe you can succeed where Google and the AI that keeps telling the toaster to take a bath with me fail. I'm looking for a movie I can't remember the name of. It was a movie about 5 friends who moved to the countryside to a 1-bedroom house. During the day, they paint and perform plays for each other, and at night, on a rotating schedule, 2 of them share the bedroom. I think it might be a British movie, but I can't remember the actors or the year released. I thought it was Amori, but I guess I was wrong. I don't have the slightest idea. I apologize. Not my kind of movie. Moxley fans is Bird of Prey. Sandra Bullock is hot. Yeah, I would say from that list, she's probably the most attractive, for sure. Anyway, thank you guys all for hanging out. Thank you for some decent Dear Bops. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for listening to me tell my Good Friday tale. I hope you enjoyed it. If you had Easter in a Long Island house back in, I don't know, Easter 2005 or 2006, and you came across something and you didn't think it was what you thought it was, well, hate to break it to you. Probably was. Anyway, with that, kapla all. What? The Multi-Gun Man says, Bird, you know that movie with the things that stuff. What's it called? I don't know. Oh, maybe you're thinking of E.T. Kronos says, no Mamo Freight Tale. Sorry, Kronos. Kronos says, it was a Good Friday for you. It was back in 2006. Hakeem says, see you all. It was an awesome stream. Thank you, Hakeem. Kapla all. Bird.